Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining India's first AR/VR MR podcast, XROM. I'm your host, Eddie Avil, and this platform was designed with a singular vision, and that vision is to shape India's AR/VR MR growth story and to help you understand about this transformational technology which holds potential to change the way we live, work, and play. XROM is also a forum for Indian XR leaders, enthusiasts, influencers, and those first movers who have played a pivotal role in shaping India's XR industry. I had an exciting conversation with Mr. Ashish Gupta, who is a pioneer in India's gaming ecosystem. He has played a major role in shaping some of the top Indian gaming companies like India Games Limited, Jump Games, Oxygen Infovision, Real Networks, Reliance Games, and Gameloft. Currently, he is the General Manager Lead Games Ecosystem at India's largest telecom company, JIO. We spoke about how Reliance JIO is push-driving the gaming ecosystem and also AR/VR in the country. They have some exciting products that they'll be bringing maybe this year or the next. I really enjoyed the conversation and I hope you do too. Ashish, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on a podcast. Thank you for sparing time and being part of this. So, I'm sure you've been an avid gamer.
Yes.
So let's just start by your journey. How did you get into gaming, and
So,
how the
I belong to a city called Kanpur.
right.
I started playing in game parlors
Right.
where I used to pay 5 rupee per hour and playing on Nintendos,
Right.
playing on the console,
Right.
and literally those consoles were of course Japanese,
Right.
and the consoles were actually wood consoles. It's
Right.
a wood block,
Right.
and you work on it
Wow.
and you play on it. So I started playing those Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and later on when I became PC gamer, I started playing the Counter Strike and Ragnarok and all such games. I was earlier a computer programmer. I was programming into Visual Basic and Visual C and Java.
Right.
I wanted to do something in gaming.
Right.
But in India, at the
There was
moment,
no-
nothing.
there was no
nothing.
gaming
People were
ecosystem at
playing
that point in
games.
time.
People were
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
pirated games. They were not
Right,
even
right,
knowing. The industry was
right.
not even there.
Right.
But somehow things started, and then I did my course from Mumbai Education Trust, and I wanted to enter into animation
Right.
for gaming only.
Right.
And then I found this company, India Games,
Right.
wonderful place to work with. It's India's first PC
Right.
and mobile game company.
Right.
There worked for 3 years, but even there, when we were working for not for India. We were working for other countries.
Exactly.
So we were creating
Yeah.
games. We know how to create games. We know how to publish them. We know how to do marketing, but everything from India, but not for India.
Right.
Right. So then I moved to other companies, and then at Real Networks, when we were managing Real Network, we were managing Airtel Live,
Right.
which is other India's biggest portal, accessible through mobiles.
Right.
And gaming was a big section on it.
Right.
And people started playing games in 100 rupees, 10 rupees, 15 rupees, and they started downloading the game, mobile game.
Right.
So in India, PC, because still PC users are very limited. The mobile gaming started since Java days, since Nokia days, since Symbian was the era. And people started learning games, started playing games. And now we have three kind of gamers. One is a PC gamer playing mobile games. One is the mobile gamer playing hardcore mobile game and PC game and tablet game and also coming on console. Another gamer is never experienced internet, never experienced any gaming device, still playing games. And these are the gamers of Angry Bird or Candy Crush or maybe PUBG. Right.
Yeah.
So now we have mix of gamers.
Right.
So it's the right time to enter with the good devices,
Right.
good amazing ecosystem, and you can see these days esports also happening in the country. Right. So that is for sure that industry, we have now customers.
Right. Right.
We have now people.
Right. Right.
And we can go on doing something for India. I mean, I would say that. So that is what my say is.
That India ecosystem, do you think that's been lacking? Because like you mentioned, I mean, there have been developers, but even the developers over here are largely building content for international gaming studios. So though we have some really good gaming studios over here, so what do you think is the evolution been from where you started, maybe there was around 20 years back till now? What has been has it improved?
And
It has improved a lot.
right,
In earlier days, in 2003, 2002,
right,
we were making games
right,
and we were giving it to the companies,
Right.
Sony, Marvel, or maybe Nokia, or
Right.
maybe other developers, other studios, other publishers globally, and they were selling games to Latin America
Right.
or other countries,
Right.
right? The developed nations, and we were only getting money for the development,
Right.
But now we are not more into development; we are also into publishing.
Right.
We also publish games in Latin America directly, thanks to Google, thanks to Apple, and we
Right.
have a complete payment mechanism and ecosystem. That's why we have started getting, as a whole developer community, people started making money. So maybe a 2-3 people studio
Right.
working out from Bandra or working out from Bihar, making money from Latin America.
Yeah.
That is happening these days today. Now, since last 4 years, I would say, I'm seeing people started making money within India.
Right.
I mean, look at the Teen Patti, look at the Ludo of the world, right? We all started, it's happening.
Right.
So, developing games for other nations
Right.
to making games money from other nations to making games for India and making revenue out of from India.
Right.
So all the conversion happened within 15 years.
Right. Right.
It's the right time to, I would say, I mean, everyone has to work towards
together,
it,
right.
come together.
Right.
So we have to solve a lot of issues: the payment mechanism,
Right, exactly.
the education, the soft marketing.
Right.
The very important factor is people do not take gaming seriously in India.
Right.
Everyone who plays game it's a form of entertainment, but no, it's more than that.
Right.
It has an emotion, it has a community
Exactly.
builder, a lot of things.
Right.
We see these things in metro. We also see these things in small towns, right? But still, I would say until we have the whole within country ecosystem wherein I'm talking about creating a game in India, consuming in India, doing marketing in India, you don't need nothing out of India,
Right.
and you are self-sufficient.
Right.
So that is still we have to see.
So you know what, like even in the entertainment business, I mean, we are so in awe of these big Hollywood movies, like we like Avengers Endgame. It was like we waited for that. There's not such big audience for like an Indian director making these films. The same way I see even with the gaming community. There are obviously the gamers are so in awe and waiting for these international catalog gamings. But is there a lack of Indian specific gaming, or is there like the interest is less when it comes to people creating Indian specific games?
No, so gaming
Right.
as an industry
Right.
has a global audience always.
Right.
I was playing Mortal Kombat.
Right.
I was playing Japanese game. I was
Right.
playing Chinese game. I
Right.
was playing Korean games. I
Right.
was playing American games.
Right.
If people in India
Right.
will start making game in Bahubali, for example, right?
Right.
Of course, people in America will play it, but it depends on what kind of quality we are giving.
Right.
It's all about a story. I mean, to be very honest, if you go back, you see in a lot of games, you'll find Indian characters. So they understand Indian mythology is great. Indian IPs are amazing,
Right.
but it's only that our own IP companies, our own studios do not have that confidence that it will work.
Right.
So someone has to put in money. Someone has to do amazing marketing.
Because exactly, I think we get stuck with maybe just a character.
Yeah.
Why don't we have like an entire game? Because I think
Entire
maybe
game
if
can
we
be-
do Indian specific games, I think there are chances that maybe we can connect with it more. Like I mean, if no matter I watch football, but I still connect with India. When the cricket.
Yes.
Because there's a connection. So maybe if there is more of, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but do you think there is
No,
a market
so-
out there which not you rightfully said, but basically there's no people who are pushing that kind of the developers to create India specific games.
When I say India, when you say India specific, it's like a game which has entire environment based in India.
Right.
But it is what I'm saying in mobile,
Right.
we can see that.
Right.
I can see Chota Beam games
Right.
on mobile. It's doing
Right.
phenomenally good. Ludo,
Right.
basically all the English speaking countries are doing. I mean, basically wherever British ruled.
Right.
In these countries, Ludo is playing very well. It's not an American game, anyways, right? So in mobile, we can see that.
Right.
In console, we have to still wait for it. It's
Right.
not that we have not tried.
Right.
I mean, India Games created a game called Yodha, which is India's first 3D PC game.
Right.
It didn't work. Then we created another games called Ashoka.
Right.
It worked, but again, market was so small,
Right.
right? So what I'm saying, only small is so the only problem is industry has to understand one thing. It is not only the responsibility of a studio
Right.
to create games on Indian mythology, Indian character.
Right.
It is everyone's responsibility.
Right.
Everyone should be having a confidence on it,
Right.
right? Rest. I think if a game is good,
Yeah.
if gameplay is good, if quality is amazing, if it is easily accessible, everything,
Right.
all those 6 parameters of gaming
Right.
are there.
Right.
It doesn't matter what story you have.
Right.
Doesn't matter what character you have.
Right.
So when people in India can play a game from Japan, people from Japan also play a game from India. Doesn't matter if games are good.
So tell me, I mean, we didn't get into it. So what's your role? You know, like as the leading game ecosystem at Jio. So what's your
My
role
job
and
is to bring
Yeah.
content, the
Right.
games
Right.
within the Jio ecosystem.
Right.
And basically we have a lot of devices like Jio phone,
Right.
which I was telling you the other day, which is a
Right.
HTML5 phone,
Right.
which is KaiOS based feature phone,
Right.
which predominantly no one was even saying that this will be a gaming device or
Right.
people will play a game on it.
Right.
But let me tell you, people are playing game on it. We have
Right.
more than 6 million daily active users. We have more than people spend around 30 to 37 minutes every day on gaming on the device.
Right.
People are playing that.
Right.
People are searching games like Subway Surfer on our phones.
Right.
People put queries on internet or maybe SMS or within my search that I want to play Subway Surfer on this phone. So it means they're aware
Right.
what Subway Surfer is, they're aware what Candy Crush is, but they're expecting the same kind of game on the device.
The evolution of gaming. Do you think that VR is the next evolution of gaming? Because with VR, you're not restricted to just your 2D platform. You're not just playing. You are in the game. You're experiencing with all fidelity, and with haptic feedback suits, maybe you can feel that monster
Is hitting
breathing
you,
fire
yeah. You can
or
feel
hitting
it, yeah.
you and things like that. It'll get more immersive. So do you think that's the next evolution of gaming, and is that what
VR is a next chapter of gaming, I would say. See, we have to understand persona of gamer.
Right.
Earlier, if you see the gamer of 1980s or 1990s, gamer was fat, sitting on a couch
Right.
and playing game and eating chips,
Right.
right? But now gamer has changed. Gamer is fit, fine. He's a community guy. He's not the guy who is sitting alone and playing computer games.
Right. Right.
He's more connected with everyone,
Right.
and he shares his views,
Right.
and he's very open. If he doesn't like the game, he'll tell this game is bad and all that. And people started following technology within the game.
Right.
So now gamers also see that this new technology has come up. Why inside the game they don't have put it? I mean, they ask that.
Right.
Why in the game they are not using this?
Right.
So an average user, they ask such things.
Right.
So they are much aware.
Right.
Now VR is of course the next chapter, and I would like to say one thing about VR. Generally what happens earlier used to
Right.
happen,
Right.
whatever technology is developed or incubated or started
Right.
in US, in Japan, and other countries, they used to come to India after 3 years, 4 years.
Right.
But in VR I don't see that.
Right.
It's parallel.
Right.
And sometime I would say in India we're doing something which no one has done
Right,
in VR.
exactly.
I mean, we do not know about it. A lot of people might not know about it, but sitting in a small city, small room, people are creating something which no one have ever thought
Right.
using the same technology. So in VR, I think we are at par with them
Right.
in terms of technology, in terms of application. The only problem I would see is the usage.
Right.
Right. So we can also create VR game. We also have a hardware. We can also use. So VR is basically used in medicines, in adult industry, in entertainment industry, in gaming industry.
Right.
These are the 4 verticals where
Right.
VR being used.
Right.
Right. The whole technology, the immersive
Right.
technology,
Right.
where a hardware, a software,
Right.
and your human emotions and senses are emerged,
Completely.
Right.
Right.
and you can see everything in the walks of life.
Right. Right.
Now, the only problem we see is, as of now, the base,
Right.
the usage.
Right.
And in India, usage will increase if it's affordable,
Right.
right? So as a first step, I think Jio has done the phenomenally good job is to providing very, very economical internet.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So at least you have it is like you have provided electricity to a village. Now they have electricity, they will use
Right.
fan, TV, radio, FM, everything, right?
Right.
without electricity, they don't have anything.
Right.
So same today, internet is like electricity.
Right.
If you have internet, you can read blogs, you can do social media, you can listen to songs, movies, games, everything, right? So the first problem needs to be solved, that provide the internet.
Right.
We had done that. And of course, it was there. It
Right.
was there before us, but we have disrupted in such a way that everyone is started using it.
Right.
The second step is to provide hardware at such a price where people can afford, and people can, if they can afford, they'll start using it.
Right.
And India, all the hardwares, excluding your, not even in the Western world, mobile smartphone is considered to be very personal,
Right.
personal
Right.
thing. Even do not share mobile with a wife,
Right.
right? It's that personal.
Right.
But India, I'm telling you that mobile is also not personal.
Right.
My mobile is used 20% time by my kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
It happens. It's a family device.
Yeah.
So VR devices, VR headset,
Yeah.
set-top boxes, TVs, everything family device.
Yeah.
So when it comes to family, people will buy if it is affordable. People will buy if they see value in. When I say value, it's not only value for money. They see value for every family member.
Right.
See, if I buy a VR and only I play the game, my family will say, "Why you bought it? You're only enjoying it. I don't have any for me.
Right.
I am not gamer. Why should I use it?" So what I'm saying is VR is not only for gaming, it should be everything. So
Right.
you can also, an old men, women at home, old parents, they can also watch some live darshan, some real experience in VR.
Exactly.
So VR, again, I'm saying, so that those experience needs to be bring in.
Right.
People will start using it. So India is not behind anyone, any
Right.
country
Right.
when it comes to usage, but you need to give them what they want to use,
Right.
right? So that's part one. Second part is making the affordable devices, making the affordable content. Now there's a big question: who will start first?
Right.
The content company says, I mean, we met everyone,
Yeah.
Eddie. Everyone say we can create content, no problem.
Right.
But who will give us the fund?
Right.
Why should I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
content,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Because there's no ecosystem.
Right.
Device company says we'll make the device, we will not make the content.
Right.
Things not gonna solve ever.
Right.
Someone has to come, say,
Right.
okay, fine. I'm creating the whole ecosystem. I am making the device. I'm making the payment mechanism. I'm making it making it available to everyone,
Right.
right? And then, of course, content will come in and everything will happen. Because without content, VR is nothing. It's just a box,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
So hardware manufacturer,
Right.
the service provider,
Right.
and also the content company.
Lovely.
So all they have to work together. And Eddie, you are doing that. You are bringing everyone together. I could see that.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the effort with immersion. So I liked your view a lot on the headset, a VR headset being a family device. I guess that's what possibly the bigger players like maybe like a Facebook and STC Vive is somewhere missing, because somewhere I see them push driving just a younger generation, because I mean it's natural that the younger generation adopt technology quickly. But I guess they're missing out that entire family. Everybody would want to adopt it if you make them understand that each of them would have their own content and they would love to experience it, whether it's a kid or a grown up person. So yeah, that's a brilliant.
And one thing I would like to add: playing a computer game, you need to know at least how to use computer.
Right.
For mobile also, you need to know how to install, how to
Right.
play, which button does what, and
Right.
how should I use mobile.
Right.
I should be at least avid user of mobile, right? But I think VR, I don't see that.
Right.
It's not needed.
Right.
VR, you just wear, give them a simple controller with 2 buttons.
Right.
I'm telling you, VR is more easy than any console or
Right.
any mobile.
Right.
It's easy.
Exactly.
Because there actually what you see is what you get. You can try everything. You can pick up a box. You can throw it. You can try everything. You can touch the wall. You're getting me. So
Right.
I would think I'm saying VR will be more easy
Right.
for anyone who has not even used a gaming console.
Completely. I see that because I mean, with voice recognition built onto it, I mean,
Yes.
you just have to say things. You can't. You don't even have to use those joystick. You can just
Yes.
say, okay, I need to watch this and that. So,
For example, in Xbox,
Right.
if you want to go back, you know how to go back.
Right.
You should know how to move around, how to
Right.
do 360-degree angle, right?
Right.
In VR, just turn your neck, right? Or maybe just turn your, just press the button of your controller and
Right.
it does everything.
Right,
So
exactly.
what I'm saying, VR will be more adaptive.
Right.
But I think 2 big problem. One is the cost,
Right.
affordability,
Right.
and second thing is appropriate content.
Completely get it when you say that this VR would be so potential and the use cases are across. I mean, you mentioned healthcare, education, enterprise, training and simulation. There's so many. So tell me, I mean, obviously you guys have because of Geo, we have around 300 million odd people who's connected to. I think that's the number at this point in time, right? Or more, or it's growing.
I think it is 330 now.
Oh wow! It's just continuously growing, and the reach is far into the interiors of India, and
Yes.
that's making everyone digital aware and growing India as
And trust me,
Yeah.
these people are using it also.
right.
I mean, earlier I remember people were buying data packs, and
Right.
by default, data pack was
Right.
there in your SIM card
Right.
and in your tariff
Right.
plan.
Right.
But they were not using it because they never had the application to use it.
Right.
I don't know what to do,
Right.
right? But now they're using it. They're watching YouTube. They're watching JioTV, JioCinema. They're doing TikTok these days. I mean, at least they are consuming data. They understand
Exactly,
there is a
exactly.
world. There is a world which we have never touched,
Right.
right? So, and also they're playing games.
Right.
They're playing games. They are trying their hand on everything.
Right.
So
right.
we have millions and millions of people there.
So my audience, would love to know this because I had Googled and I had read that Geo would be building its own hardware, a VR headset, a six-DOF headset. Is this true? Is this something that you're working on, or is that
Of
something
course,
that you can talk?
so I would say Jio is working on every aspects of gaming
Right.
and also every aspect of technology wherever 4G
Right.
and things can be used.
Right.
We will be having such hardwares launched in the market with
Right.
the entire ecosystem. So we are not only launching on hardware to
Right.
use internet to
Right.
experience VR or AR.
Right.
We are building the entire ecosystem. When I say entire ecosystem, it means we'll be having our own store
Right.
of games and
Right.
applications.
Right.
We can have our own store for videos,
Right.
our own thing for video on demand,
Right.
and that's what we are trying to do. So first, we have to solve. First question is affordability. Second
Right.
question is content.
Right.
That's more important.
Right.
So we are working towards it, and few developers are working with us also on VR.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Lovely. I mean, I'm sure this is whatever right directly coming from the mouth of Ashish, the one who's leading the VR ecosystem over there. So yes, I mean, super exciting news. Now tell me, do you see technology like cloud and 5G playing a role in taking this entire ecosystem?
See,
Yeah.
of course, because
Because you guys are also
Yeah, because
5G is also coming,
right,
and
5G is
right?
coming, and we'll also we may also start our broadband very soon,
Right. Right.
gigafiber plans
Right.
basically. So all these things are filled if there's no internet, there's no enablement, right?
Right.
So what will I do if I have a VR which has nothing on it? I mean, because this is not the device where you can download and play.
Right.
See,
Right.
offline, you will be using offline also, right? That's separate.
Right.
But even if even if you want to use offline, you need to have internet to download something, right?
Exactly.
So the first thing is to make the whole country Wi-Fi enabled. We should have a lot of hotspot. People should be having the broadband at home, and then they will start finding the means of consuming the data.
Right.
So of course, set-top box is gonna be one where
Right.
they will stream the content,
Right.
right? And then internet. Within internet, when I say internet, of course there are a lot of websites, a lot of gaming channels, a lot of things are there.
Right. Right.
But if you give them a specific hardware, right? This is the thing which does that.
Right.
This is fine. Let's buy it. Let's see what it does.
Right.
So I think the first time user experience is also very important.
Right.
So we have a lot of geo points. We might do experiencing zone over there. Come try for 15 minutes, see how it is. You may like and then you may dislike, but you will have to lose not. So first, you need to make people aware
Right.
that
Exactly.
there is something like that, and there is available, and that is available to you.
Right.
And after that, it's up to them.
Right.
They will buy or don't buy, and again, content is the king,
Yeah.
and queen is the engagement.
Right.
If they find the right content, if they find the relevant content, of course they will buy and they will try to use it.
Right. Perfect. So you said experience zones. Internationally, at this point of time, LBVRE, location-based virtual reality entertainment centers are really picking up.
Yes.
There is Steven Spielberg company which is invested in a LBVRE big time. Then there's a company called Hologate, which is just got funded
Holography. They're working on holography, right?
yeah. They've got funded by Andreessen Horowitz, and they've got LBVRE, location-based virtual reality entertainment centers around the world, and it's growing phenomenally. ROI is happening because people are going there to experience, and it's a full 6 of free roam gaming VR
Zones,
gaming
yeah.
zones, so it becomes extremely immersive. Some is when your experience zone, when you're talking about, are you looking at something like that? Because India completely lacks it, and maybe that could also be the starting point of driving adoption, when people understand that you are no longer now restricted to sit down and play games. You can be in the game, part of the game.
Yes. Gaming is more on physical activity now.
Right.
Instead of indoor games, it's
Right.
more of physical activity where you actually
Right.
do something, you actually move your hands.
Right.
But so that two aspects. There's one hardcore gamer, as I initially told.
Right.
They would be saying they know everything.
Right.
They can do physical activity also inside the game.
Right.
But for them, the gameplay is important. The graphics is really important. How engaged they can be, and
Right.
for them, it's very important thing is the community.
Right.
They would love to play online.
Right.
They are saying, okay, if I'm there, who else is there?
Right.
Who else is playing?
Right.
So they would love to do it. Unlike the other gamer which were not gamer,
Right.
they were casual gamer,
Right.
now getting converted into
Right.
a mid-core gamer,
Right.
right? Now for these guys, they want to try things.
Right.
They don't know what they want.
Right.
Honestly, they don't know what they want.
Right.
They just want to play a game.
Right.
Which game? Sorry. So they don't know these.
Yeah.
So it's very simple. Some people know. For example, you told people are waiting for Hollywood movies, so they know which movie is gonna come,
Exactly.
sequel is gonna come.
Right.
Okay, I'll gonna watch it. I'll wait for my sequel to come. Right.
Right.
The other users are okay. They don't know,
Right.
but they definitely know that they want to watch.
Right.
Right. They want to play.
Right.
So for them, we have to create such games where they're easy to understand,
Right.
easy to play, and
Right.
see it's like conversion.
Right.
So someone is standing on floor 1
Right.
and I'm floor 4.
Right.
Someone has to bring them on floor 4,
Right.
right? So that is where content plays a role.
Right.
First game of iPhone,
Right.
suppose it was PUBG.
Right.
People would have rejected it. They would have not adopted it. The first famous game was Angry Bird, right? People will say, okay, easy, Cisco. You have to just pull and shoot, right?
Right.
And later on, things came, and now I'm knowing. we all know that a lot of PC gamer of PUBG
Right.
using the emulator and playing a mobile game.
Right.
See, that's the difference. Because now they also know that I'm a PUBG PC player, but I have very less gamers in India
Right.
on PC. Let's try hand on mobile, and then they enter in mobile. They see, oh my god, there are a lot of gamers, and then they enter. So it also depends on the nature of the content.
Right.
It's more of a multiplayer MMORPG games. So it depends. So what I'm trying to say is, someone needs to build or develop game or content which is not 0,
Right.
not 4,
Right.
somewhere in between.
So, you've been acquiring a lot of content, like gaming content. That's what you mentioned. Are you looking at only international studios, or are you also looking at Indian studios?
If you go by our portfolio, which is available on a
Right.
smartphone, a feature phone as of now,
Right.
it's I would say 50-50.
Right. Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's
So
brilliant.
we are welcoming everyone. See, it depends on content, whether
Right.
it's developed in US
Right.
or developed in Japan or developed in India, doesn't matter. Creating the VR experience, we have content from every country, every possible VR company, VR studio.
Right.
But in VR, still, so the very big, I think it's not the India problem, it's a VR problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Is the
problem.
time.
Yeah.
So what happens is, it's globally, if you look at VR,
Yeah.
it's highly captive user. Someone wore the VR HMD or using the mobile VR,
Right.
right? He's your captive audience, right? But only for 15 minutes. And I don't know, maybe for 20 minutes, maybe for 22 minutes. I have no idea. I think the average time is spent, can you spend is around 15 minutes on
Yeah,
VR.
exactly. That's the average
Now,
time.
within 15 minutes, what you can do, what you cannot do
Right.
is questionable.
Right.
That is why content is really needs to be very, very subtle. 3-4 rules all these studios are following,
Right.
and if not following, they must follow is: do not confuse your users, do not make them vomit, right? Give them appropriate content. Initially, the content should be the linear approach,
Right.
although VR is 360,
Right.
but initially the things should be linear in
Right.
one direction, and then
Right.
later on it should open the other direction, everything.
Right.
And then there are 3-4 more. I was reading one article from someone, I think it was on some VR focus. There's a website,
Right.
and this guy is very pro VR guy
Right.
and a developer,
Right.
and he's writing 19 different commandments kind of a thing that this you should follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, people need to. So that's what I'm saying. As a forum,
Right.
I would say as a forum founder,
Right.
you and I and people from the people from the developer community,
Right.
they should follow certain aspects. That's very important.
When you're creating something, you need to make sure that it's compelling. It's not just compelling, it's user friendly. I mean,
Yes.
if the person is vomiting and freaking out, then it's not going to work. Definitely not going
And
to
it
work.
should not also be very confusing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is not only about India. I'm talking about its global
Right.
way of approaching
Right,
it.
right.
So some companies are doing it, some
Yeah.
companies are not doing it, some companies
Yeah.
are making it very specific. The other thing is I also see it's still VR is a rich boy toy. Even in other
At this
countries,
point in time,
even if other countries also.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an average American can afford a VR.
Right.
Even if they want to afford it, they don't see much value in terms of content and much of services.
Maybe people miss out the point that you already have a phone which is VR ready, and all that you
Yeah.
need to do is possibly get yourself a cardboard, and then you can actually experience VR.
Yeah.
And you don't really need those very expensive VR headsets. Plus, there are eye tracking. Sensors which you which you can put on your headset, and then you can make it into a 6-stop VR headset. So obviously, I mean, people
So,
won't.
so if you go by metrics of whole VR,
Right.
if you create the metric, I am not the data expert,
Right.
but someone can create the whole metrics. You can say low volume, high volume.
Right.
So if you look at the mobile user of VR, could be high volume,
Right.
right?
Right.
But very immersive experience,
Right.
amazing experience, will be on low volume,
Right.
right?
Yes,
So
at this point in
that
time.
metrics needs to be
Right.
understood,
Right.
and developer needs to think what they really want to get into. And I think they should work across. So
Right.
every developer should have something for mobile VR.
Right.
They should have something for PC VR
Right.
also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I've been reading a lot about these multi-viewers game. Have you ever tried these player game with VR games? Have you
No,
tried?
no, not.
Yeah,
I heard about them.
Yeah, they're pretty
but
interesting. Yeah.
I have not tried
Yeah,
myself. I have not tried
They're
yet.
pretty interesting. In fact, there's this company which I'm in touch with who are doing VR game with artificial intelligence built in. So you'll have, once you get into the gaming, it'll throw up different directions. As a user, you can choose where the story leads. So yes, I mean,
okay.
VR is going in a fantastic direction. It's exciting, though it's in a very nascent stage. So would you have any message to share or listeners about VR, what you're building specifically, and how you see the future pan out?
So basically, we are building something so the content can go to the consumer.
Right.
So we are the bridge.
Right.
First thing.
Right.
Second thing is, so we want to become a platform
Right.
where people can find content
Right.
and they can use it
Right.
affordably. That's one thing.
Right.
Second thing is there should be things for everyone.
Right.
So there should be a business model.
Right.
There should be proper payment mechanism,
Right.
right? And the very good part is in VR specifically, everyone has to wait till the consumer is ready for VR.
Right.
We waited for smartphone,
Right.
right? And now we are beating the world, right?
Right.
So for VR also, we have to have patience,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I'm saying. Someone has to. So it is a mobile user who's a week ago
Right.
playing Angry Bird or playing PUBG cannot become suddenly a VR guy,
Right.
right? So there's transformation needed, and transformation happens from a hardware manner,
Right.
also from a content manner. If I have never used VR, and from day one you give me something which is so intensive, so it must be really great,
Right.
but I may find it not appropriate. I
Right.
may find it not approachable to me, right?
Right.
So masses is the key, I would say.
Right.
I mean, VR is still very niche.
Yeah. Right.
I won't. I mean, if you ask me, I want to remove the word niche from
Right.
VR. Yeah, then that's a task for industry.
Right. Yeah. So great point to end with, and I'm sure you guys have the capability to do that, push the niche out of the thing and get it mainstream. So wish you the very best on that. And I also like the point of view. I guess at this generation, I think it's come to a point where we have lost our patience. I mean, we don't understand that the phone took 20 years to evolve. Right, and we are not giving any time for VR.
You're not even 3 years.
We want it to be the next big thing where we can jump into experience content and with all its fidelity. And we don't understand that it's in a nascent stage and it will take its time. So yes, give it time, let it grow. It is extremely potential technology. It is the future. But I guess like every technology that we have given space, or like a baby which we give space and let it grow. I think we need to give VR its own space, let it grow. Maybe it'll turn out to be a handsome or very potential chap like Amitabh Bachchan, or maybe it also has the potential that it could grow up into becoming a monster. Now that is in our hand, right? So in that note, thank you. It was a pleasure having you, Ashish. Thank you for your
Thank you.
insightful thing, and catch you guys next time. Yeah.